welcome to your home practice once again. And once again, this video is dedicated to Pat. And she just during the pandemic, she had to work from home, and all the yoga classes that she got to enjoy at work were canceled, of course. And so she said to me, I really want to do my practice a couple times a day, take a 15-minute break to keep me energized and focused during the day. So Pat, thank you for this request. So here's your 15-minute break. I'll watch the clock to help you take a break and get more energized during the day. So one of the things that Pat and everybody tells me is, of course, we start to get kyphotic and the head comes forward. So what happens is we shorten the scalenes in here, trapezius shortens. So I just want to show you to start a really great way to stretch at your desk. You can take your right hand under, and you want to go under your chair, or in this case, because we're on the yoga mat, under your bum. It's your bum. Just go right under the bum. Take the opposite hand and just grab the ear and come on over to this side. So you are facing forward. You're not looking down, so that you can get the longest side belly muscle here in the very side of the trapezius. That's where the biggest belly of it is. And you breathe in and out through the nose. And I do mean really crank down if it's okay. Really pull down there. So I'm using my hand, not like a hammer down, but I'm just coaxing and pulling to get that length of the muscle. And then breathe in. And there's lots of construction going on, so you might hear that. And then we take the left hand under. Here we go. Oops, don't get on your ring. And then take the right hand, come on right to the bottom of the ear. See if you can really coax that ear over. You've really got that left shoulder blade down. You'll probably feel a really strong stretching through that left side. Breath. And then come on back to center. Okay, in the first video, I demonstrated breath of joy, and I'd like to show you how to do it from a seated position. Now, many people, it's good to do it in the kneeling, and one thing that we were discovering when we were creating this video together was, Pat and I, it was difficult to kneel. So if you can have something underneath, like a pillow underneath the calves to give you a little bit of a lift up, and then there's less pressure on the top of the feet right here on the fascia. So coming into a kneeling position, we'll go right into breath of joy. And you may need to blow your nose because we're going to do a very propulsive exhalation. So the arms are out to the side. You have them even if you can with the shoulders. So here we are. You're like so you're not forward, but you're open, and this will really help to open the chest. Notice that the chin is back, the crown of the head is aligned with the neck. So from the side, it's like this, and I'm going to face you now. So you're tall, you might be sitting in a chair if you need a chair, sitting with the legs straight in front if you need to, whatever allows you to have a nice tall back. So breathing in. Good, and then just rest the hands on the lap. So that was 20 repetitions. And if you ever at any time feel a little bit dizzy, wonky, stop, okay? So really listening to the changes in the alchemy of the blood. There is quite a change, and it might cause you to feel a little bit dizzy. Now, the good news about that is you're doing some detoxification most likely in the blood, so that's super healthy. Okay, let's just do one more round. Breathing in, stop whenever you need to. Needless to say, this really makes the shoulders strong, and it is good cardiovascular-wise. It's not quite aerobic, but it could be anaerobic, like a HIIT training where you're going all out. So then we've opened up the front shoulders. Let's go into the rear of the shoulders. Come on to tabletop position. Have the knees and feet hip-width apart. Now we're going to wriggle the arms across, and we're going to start with the right arm coming across. The palm is up. So it comes across, you're going to stay up, and then wriggle the left arm across. So work across. I have to be careful for the microphone. I might squish it. So you're going to come across and then let the head come down. And I'm just going to show you in the upright position for the microphone. You're going to work your hands across using the pull of the floor to get the elbows across. And this will create a fantastic, well, you can't see me, so forget it. This will create a fantastic space in between the shoulder blades. So you're coming down to the forehead, just let that go. Take some deep breaths into the back of the nostrils to expand the upper back. And that's a really great feeling. Keep that in and out breath as you expand, and as you keep the hands reaching across. And then you're going to slowly come back up, so I'll join you to show you the movement again. And then you're going to take your opposite arm on top. Reach across, turn the palms up. Again, work the wrists across before you let the forehead go. So I'm going to show you what to do in case it didn't make sense. You're going to come down. Right to the forehead. And again, I'll stay up for the microphone. So you're going to keep the arms coming across, go right into your in and out breaths. This will create a wonderful expansion in between the bottom of the spine of the spatulas, the scapulas. Now I'm doing a cooking show. So it's open your spatulas, ladies. And just see if you can get those elbows really reaching across. And 2 more deep breaths in and out through the nose. And we're at about 6 minutes, so great, we've got some more time. And breath. Okay, and then just letting the arms down. Okay, the next thing is to come into plank. Plank is not just strengthening for the core, it builds a confidence in the spine. You're really stabilizing here, and it will help a lot with sitting at the desk, having more space between the ribs and the hips. So the first thing I want you to do is take your middle finger and place it right on the tip of the ischiums. That's the big bone you'll feel here, regardless of how voluptuous you are. There's a big bone. It's right at the tip of this basin. And then you take the thumb and you place it on the first rib that you feel that comes in, and it's right about there. And you make space there, so it's like you're making a giant toothpick and you're pulling up. So let me show you from the side. What's happening there is I'm pulling the rib up. I'm not sucking in to make small, but I'm lifting and creating space for the diaphragm. So once you have that lift to there, then you're nice and open. And with that lift, now we'll come into the plank. So you're going to bring this forward. Take the hands right underneath the shoulders. Press the heels back. You're absolutely welcome to do this from the elbows. So either way, you can do it from here, pulling the core in, or from the elbows. And then you go into a little giggle. And you keep that going. So see if you can keep it up. You're so funny. And then just do a little press back and forth on the toes, and the shoulders are right over the wrists as you're sending them back. And then bend the knees, take the knees wide, really wide, point the toes together, inhale, exhale back, really palm the mat out there, and release the forehead to the mat. In and out through the nose with the breathing. And then you can come on up to all fours position. Okay, take the knees right underneath the hips and then tuck the toes under. Now we're going to rise into a standing kneel position. And I want you to take the hands right onto the back. Now, camel pose is normally done with reaching back and touching the heels, but I'm going to suggest midday, when we aren't super warmed up, that we do an opening through the chest this way. It's a great stretch through the toes, and if you can't take this, please come here, legs in front, and do a lift of the rib cage, and use the hands like shoehorns to push up the back, and then you can turn the fingers in and push up. Otherwise, in your standing kneel, you can lift up, gaze up to where the ceiling meets the wall, pull up from the core, so there's lots of space between the ribs and the hips as we just established, and keep the elbows pressing back, so you're really opening through the chest. The hips press forward, so belly button presses forward, and if there's any crunching in the low back, please come back with the belly button a bit, the hips, like so. So from here, coming back. And then if that's a piece of cake, then take the hands right off the shelf of the buttocks and right down to the backs of the hamstrings. You're going to grab them and your thumbs are on the outside and you're just pressing the shoulders back and opening through the chest. And keep the breath. Great. And then you can bend the knees and come back down into child's pose. Take the arms forward, release the forehead down, keep the breath. Okay, good. And then you can come on slowly back up, draw up to standing, and we'll do one more round of giggles. So laughter yoga, I highly recommend it. I have found it to be the highest, best breathing practice. Remember, when you laugh, you have a longer exhale, and that evokes the parasympathetic nervous system, the relaxation response. And I can't recommend it enough. So thank you, Dr. Madan Katario. So laughter yoga, I'm going to do the measurement laughter yoga with you. So I'll demonstrate and then you can do it with me, unless you know it, and then you can do it with me right now. So we're going to do 3 rounds of laughter. So the first one is just a little laugh. It's a little giggle. And then we go a little bit bigger. And then you go all out. Okay, well done. So laughter yoga, spontaneous, you're not laughing anything, you feel weird at the beginning, your face might hurt. And once you practice, then it gets really easy. And it's something that you rely on, especially in traffic in the car. So really return to this breathing practice whenever you're feeling through the day that you need to energize. The other thing you can do is you can look up when you're doing it. So try it again, do the all out laughter. So it's just like, so just remember, anytime you look up and anytime you raise the arms, it does raise the blood pressure, but it does energize the body. So this universal sign of victory is very enlivening. So anytime you need to get energy through the day, you might just take the hands behind the head, do this. You can do that in a meeting, coming up, or, just stretch the arms up overhead, but just practice that spaciousness in the core to help to keep the posture more open. Okay, enjoy the rest of your day.